Here's the thing nobody tells you about prehistoric life: the cave, the spear, the mammoth, the constant grinding fight to stay alive. Young, powerful, fast, a world with zero patience for weakness. The moment your knees started going, the moment you couldn't keep up, nature collected its debt, you were done. So here's the question bothering you right now. How did old people survive? Not for a week, not by luck, consistently, repeatedly, for decades. We have fossil evidence worldwide: severe arthritis, healed fractures, worn down teeth, degenerative bones, living into their 40s, 50s, even 70s, without hospitals, without antibiotics, without anything resembling modern medicine. How? First, let's kill a myth. People back then only lived to 25. You've heard it. Everyone has. Average life expectancy, 30 to 35 years. Case closed. Right? Completely wrong, because that number is an average. Dominated by child mortality. 30 to 45% of children died before age 15. Infections, parasites, starvation, animal attacks. When you fold that into the average, everyone looks like they died at 30. But that's not what was happening. Children who survived the gauntlet entered adulthood capable of living very long. Researchers found something stunning. Hunter-gatherers who survived to age 15 had a modal age of death between 68 and 78, not the average, the most common age, 68 to 78, without a single hospital. So what did old people actually offer? In a world with no writing, no libraries, no databases, old people were the database: where water was in a drought year, which plants caused stomach cramps, which ones healed wounds, what the sky meant 3 days out, how to set a broken bone, so it healed functional, not crippled. None of that was written down anywhere. It lived in human memory, transmitted through the only technology available: story. That's what elders carried in their heads. That's what made them urgently valuable. An elder who survived 60 years of seasons, migrations, failed hunts, droughts, disease outbreaks, was the group's most sophisticated survival technology: a library, a physician, a weather station, all in one. Then there's Shanidar one, in 1957, a cave in northern Iraq. Archaeologists found Neanderthal remains, a male, died between 35 and 45, genuinely old for that era. But his age was the least remarkable thing. At some point he took a crushing blow to the left side of his face. It likely blinded him in his left eye, caused partial paralysis on his right side. His right arm was withered, possibly amputated, a healed fracture, a permanent limp. He was going deaf, one arm, partially blind, hearing loss, permanent limp, in a group hunting large dangerous animals, moving across difficult terrain to survive, and he lived with it for 10 to 15 years. His injuries were old when he died. His bones show he was being fed, helped to move, cared for, by people who could have left him behind and chose not to. That is not an accident. The bones tell you he was cared for, in a sustained, deliberate way. Shanidar one is not an exception. The pattern repeats across multiple sites. Neanderthals were practicing medicine, not with sterile equipment, but in the most meaningful sense. Chemical analysis of Neanderthal teeth found traces of medicinal plants, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, analgesic. That knowledge doesn't appear from nowhere. It's accumulated and transmitted over time by older individuals who had seen it before. Around 30,000 years ago, something shifted. Far more people surviving into old age than at any previous point in history. And immediately after, the record lights up. Cave art of extraordinary sophistication, burial practices, long-distance trade networks, musical instruments, personal ornamentation, the full emergence of human culture. Researchers say this is not a coincidence. More old people meant more accumulated knowledge, better decisions, better survival rates, faster spread of innovations. The cultural explosion may have been powered, not by a genetic upgrade in intelligence, but by enough experienced old people in the room. Old people were not passengers, they were the engine. Shanidar one kept alive with one arm for over a decade, by choice. Old people survived because groups chose to keep them alive, because the knowledge in their heads could not be replaced by anything else. Not a burden, the whole point.